Welcome to C Programming Lecture 2. In this lecture we will see how to create, edit, compile and execute a C program using Bloodshed Dev C Compiler in a Windows-based computer. Remember that as soon as we start using a computer, we are making use of all the components shown in this basic computer architecture diagram. Operating system of the computer facilitates all controls and communications between the various computer components. C programming language compiler installed in the computer system will facilitate the programmer to go through the 6 phases of any C program development environment. Bloodshed Dev C Compiler is free to use Windows operating system based software. For those using Windows computers can install the Bloodshed Dev C compiler after downloading it from bloodshed.net website. Mac computer users can download and install Xcode. Online compilers are also available. OnlineGDB.com is one of them. You can choose a programming language from the top right corner pull-down menu. These screenshots show the Bloodshed Dev C compiler window after you open the app and first time configuration. On the top menu bar, you have menu options like File, Edit, Execute, Tools and other menus. This screenshot shows the Bloodshed Dev C compiler window for the editor options display preferences. You can use the display properties available in the editor options under the Tools menu to increase the size of the font or to show line numbers of the programs you code. C programs don't have line numbers, so default settings in the compiler is not to show the line numbers for reference, but it will be useful to enable line numbers to be displayed for debugging and convenience of programming. This screenshot shows how to open a new file in Dev C compiler. To open new file, choose File menu followed by New, and then Source File. Alternate way to open new file is to either press Ctrl+N or simply click the third icon meant for source file. Gently move the mouse cursor on the various icons to see the options represented by each icon. This screenshot shows the newly opened Untitled 1 file with cursor at line number 1 ready for writing C program. You can start writing your C program from the line number 1. Try writing this C program that can display Hello World exclamation mark on the monitor. Again, note that the line numbers are only for our reference and they are not part of the C program. Let us see, one by one, what are these C program lines that make the computer to display Hello World on the monitor. C statement and line number 1 is a comment that is for the programmer's information. According to ANSI standards, C language comments must be written between / and */. C comments can run for many lines as long as they are enclosed between / and */ as in line number 1. Here in line number 1 the comment is display Hello World on the monitor. Comments are useful for documentation and noting the purpose and explanation of different parts of any computer program. Comments are not instructions to the computer, so they are ignored during execution. Line 2 is also a comment meant to mention that this C program is going to be saved with a file name lex02helloworld.c. It is a good practice to give a meaningful file name. Avoid white space characters in naming files or folders, directories. Line 4 is for including the header file stdio.h. It is the standard input/output header file. Main purpose of including this header file is to include the standard input device, keyboard and standard output device, monitor for executing C programs. Header files have .h file name extension. They are standard C libraries available through the installation of the compiler software. They are also programmed C codes for various requirements. Line 4 is also called the preprocessor statement that must start with a special character hash. Note that the less than and greater than symbols enclosing the stdio.h acts like opening and closing brackets. There are other header files that we may need to include as required. Later, we will look into them as needed. Line 5 is the first line of the main function. C programming is all about functions. Any C program will have at least one function that is called the main function. Typically, any function with take values or parameters as input. After computing the required value, the function will return the value to the place where the function has been invoked. As this is the main function, it does not take any values, and hence inside the parentheses that follows the function name main contains void. Without void, just open and close parentheses is also acceptable. Before the function name main, there is the type of the return value int representing integer, which is a must to be included. Function has a body, also called the scope, that are enclosed by the braces, as in line 6 with opening brace and line 10 with closing brace. Later, we will look into the details of functions in detail. Display on the monitor is the commonly used output device. Printf statement in line 7 is the formatted print statement that displays the output quantities on the monitor. In this C program, the output we like to display is the string hello world. String is an array of alphanumeric and special characters that are enclosed within double quotes. Printf statement takes the string hello world and displays on the monitor. Note that at the end of the string hello world \n is used. \n is the new line character that facilitates the control prompt to move to the new line after displaying the string hello world. C statements end with semicolon. If we miss out to write the semicolon at the end of line 7, it will be notified as syntax error during compiling and executable file will not be generated. Line 9 is the return statement for the function main. Return value 0 is used for successful termination of the program. Note that this statement also ends with a semicolon. C programming has to be a structured programming. The body of the main function from line 7 to 9 is placed one indent spacing depth from the opening and closing braces. This way of structured programming will keep the C program neat and tidy, as well as for easy reading and debugging of the code. So, keep writing C programs with correct structure and necessary comments and documentation. Lines 5 to 10 show the complete main function. Note that there is no semicolon at the end of line 5, which is the first line of the main function. Only a statement that ends within that line should have a semicolon. Opening brace in line 6 and closing brace in line 10 enclose the complete scope of the main function that starts at line 5. So, you should not end the line 5 with a semicolon, which will be a mistake. This screenshot shows how to save the C program written in the untitled1 file in Dev C Compiler. To save the C program as lex02 helloworld.c, choose File menu, followed by Save. Alternate way to save the C program is to either press Ctrl+S, or simply click the fourth icon meant for save. Gently move the mouse cursor on the various icons to see the options represented by each icon. As it is the first time we try to save the file, a pop-up window as shown in the figure will appear. In the top Save In field you have the option to choose the folder where you like to save the C program in the hard disk. In the figure Save In field shows Documents folder, which is the default option for Windows. It is a good practice to be well organized in housekeeping of the folders and files by providing meaningful names. Choose the folder where you like to save the C program. Avoid white space character in folder and file names. Note that in Save as Type field option at the bottom of the popped-up window it is trying to save it as C++ source file with an CPP extension. This is the default option to save any C++ program. Pull down Save as Type field option to change it to C source files as shown in the figure. Once the Save as Type selection is changed, you can note that the extension for the file name Untitled1 changed to .c. To help any compiler to create the correct executable file, it is better to save the program source code with an appropriate file extension. Then, change the Untitled1 file name in the file name field to lex02 hello world as shown in the figure. Note that in the top Save In field, desired folder has been chosen. In the figure it is showing as the folder name Programs. Now click the Save button to save our lex02 hello world.cc program at the desired folder in the hard disk. Note that our C program tab name changed from Untitled1 to lex02 hello world.c as shown in the figure. So far, the C program we have written in ANSI standards is universal and portable in a sense that it can be compiled using any C compiler in a computer with any operating system. Here, we are ready to compile our C program using Dev C++ compiler in a computer with Windows operating system to create the executable file. Thus created exe file is executable only in a computer with Windows operating system. This screenshot shows how to compile C program using Dev C++ compiler. To compile our C program lex02 hello world.c, choose Execute menu, followed by Compile. Alternate way to compile the C program is to either press Ctrl plus F9 or simply click the second row first icon meant for compile. Gently move the mouse cursor on the various icons to see the options represented by each icon. If there are no syntax errors, a compile process done window will pop up as shown in the figure. Note the status is done. Click close to remove this popped up message window. With successful C program compile, there will be an lex02 hello world.exe Windows executable file created in the folder where we saved the lex02 hello world.cc program file. If you are not logged into your computer as an administrator user, or if you have saved the .c program in a folder where you don't have the right permission, compiled exe file cannot be created. This screenshot shows how to run the executable C program using Dev C++ compiler. To run our executable C program lex02 hello world.exe, choose Execute menu, followed by Run. Alternate way to run the executable C program is to either press Ctrl plus F10 or simply click the second row second icon meant for Run. Gently move the mouse cursor on the various icons to see the options represented by each icon. It might look like nothing happened after running the exe file. Actually, in a blink of the eye moment, a command prompt window opened, displayed hello world and disappeared. This is because the instructions given to the computer through our C program is to display and not to keep the command prompt window to stay. Add a Windows system command pause between printf and return statements as line 8 in your C program. As amendment made to the C source code, you have to save and compile again to create the corresponding exe file, and run the newly created exe file. It is very important to note that system command that can be executed through computer programs is operating system dependent. This screenshot shows the output of the exe file lex02 hello world. String hello world is displayed and followed by a new line, and finally the control is waiting as instructed by the system pause command. Very top of the CMD window shows the executed exe file name with full path of the file location. This might be useful to reach this folder location directly in a CMD window. If you press any key, the CMD window will disappear. This screenshot shows the C program source code and exe files in the File Finder window. If you double-click the exe file, like any other executable file, this file will also run. If this exe file corresponds to our first written C program without the system pause command, the CMD window will pop up, display the string hello world and disappear. Alternatively, we can directly open the CMD command prompt app window and run the exe file. This screenshot shows how to open the CMD command prompt app window. In the search field next to the Windows icon at the bottom left corner of the display, type CMD as shown in the figure. Click the command prompt app appearing at the top to open the app. CMD window will open with the command prompt cursor at the set root directory. Typically, C drive of the hard disk is the set root directory for standalone personal Windows computers. But in the figure, the root directory is shown as H drive, because this computer is configured to show the H drive. As our C files are saved in the C drive, first command we have to provide to the CMD app is to change the root drive directory. This can be done by typing C: and press the enter key. Note that the H drive changed to C drive in the command prompt. Next we have to change the directory from root C drive to the folder location where C files are saved. This can be achieved by cd command, which is the change directory. For example, if your C drive have a folder named temp, then typing cd temp in the command prompt and pressing enter will change directory to temp. Here in the figure, the full path is provided in the cd command to reach the folder location where C files are saved. Note that the command prompt location is now pointing to the folder path mentioned in the change directory command. Now we can type the dir directory command and press the enter key to check the files within the folder. As expected, the dir command shows two files in the folder, respectively the lex02 hello world.c source code file and the corresponding exe file. To execute the exe file, type the file name lex02 hello world in the command prompt and press enter. No need to add the file extension .exe for executing the file, as the operating system by default will pick up from the file name itself the executable file to run. As instructed in the C program, the string hello world followed by the new line character is displayed on the monitor. The CMD command prompt window will not disappear this time, as we have opened the CMD app as a window on its own. Try coding the C program on your own and execute the exe file to gain experience. For reference, all the C source code files discussed in the lectures are provided. Now you learned how to write a simple C program, compile it and to execute the exe file to see the output on the monitor. One by one with examples, we will look into various statements and features available in ANSI C programming language. Now, try to do little modification to the Hello World C program by removing the \n at the end of the string and the printf statement. Save it, compile it and execute the exe file to see what happens to the output. In this case, you can see the output is only with the string hello world and the CMD prompt control not moving to new line after that. You can also try another variation like the C program shown here with few more \n new line characters added to the string in the printf statement and line 7. Try other variations as well, like adding one more printf statement with different string and \n between the current printf statement at line 7 and return statement at line 9. Similar to new line character \n c got tab space character \t. You can check how the output introduces a tab space when you add \t in the C program shown here in the printf statement and line 7. You might have noted some coloring format in the code written for the Hello World C program. Different text colors for comments, keywords, strings, header statements will help to differentiate different contents of a program. Editors that come along with the compilers are designed to help with coding programs in specific computer programming language. Editor available with Dev C++ Compiler will help with coding C and C++ programs. Even with completing syntax like closing braces and brackets may be automatically filled in when you type in the opening braces and brackets. Closing quotes may be automatically filled in when you type in the opening quotes. Syntax errors in coding are like grammatical mistakes in languages. Program with syntax errors cannot be compiled to generate the corresponding executable file. Example of a syntax error is missing semicolon at the end of a statement. You can try to remove the semicolon at the end of the printf statement in the Hello World C program and compile it. Dev C++ Compiler will mark the next line to the printf statement in red color, and at the bottom of the window it will give the error message. So, compilers can help to some level to identify syntax errors in programs. You can make use of the compiler's error message to correct the syntax errors. Logical errors in coding are like wrong instructions or algorithm that is not meeting the required spec of the given problem. For example, in the Hello World C program, typing the string Hello World with spelling mistake. Another example is in place of multiplying two numbers, the numbers are added up. Compilers cannot help with correcting logical errors. Computer programs written with logical errors will end up with executable files with bugs. Clear understanding of the specification of the problem and how to solve it is a must to instruct the computer to solve it through programs. If we do not know how to solve the problem, then impossible to come up with an algorithm and hence any sort of working code to correctly instruct the computer. For instance, linear algebra is widely used in data processing and to solve many scientific and engineering problems. So, we need to first have very good idea about how to perform various mathematical operations and calculations using linear algebra to come up with an algorithm to solve the problem and then to code it as a computer program. In developing programs, first carefully look into the specs and basics of the problem and how to solve it, and then use that knowledge and procedural steps to develop the algorithm and finally to implement it as a correctly working computer program. Experience of facing and solving different type of problems will make us a better scientist or engineer and to solve problems correctly. In coding computer programs as well, experience will help a lot to come up with some sort of algorithm to solve any problem. We should enjoy coding programs that can correctly instruct the computers to solve various kind of problems. Don't leave it too late to do programming. From the beginning, do some programming as much as possible. That will make you an expert in developing algorithms and coding correct programs to solve problems. Thus, with that experience, you don't need to spend lot of time again on revising or practicing too many programs development at later time. More programming from the start will help you to learn the computer language and ways to develop algorithm that will make you to gain programming knowledge, which will be your knowledge asset forever. Sometimes we may find that learning a new language is a difficult task. It is the practice and experience that will provide us enough confidence to use the language fluently for communication. Like learning any other communication language, computer programming language will also initially takes a bit of our time and effort to get used with and develop confidence in using it fluently. There is a critical learning point for everyone to cross over in learning languages, and after that the confidence that go with using the language for communicating will be with us forever. So, from the beginning, don't just look into how already any program was developed. Start coding yourself to gain experience and develop confidence in writing any computer program. In the next lecture, We will look into more about the printf output statement and the scanf statement to get input through the keyboard.